Hello, grade 7. Today we're going to start the second chapter in Unit 3, which is combustion. And the objectives of our session today is to define combustion, define kindling temperature, distinguish between complete and incomplete combustion. Definition of combustion. As you remember, we've explained it briefly, and it is a chemical reaction that undergoes in presence of oxygen gas and heat. So it's a chemical reaction. It is in presence of oxygen gas and heat. Okay? Here oxygen is called the combusting agent, so it provokes combustion. It's called the oxidizer. The substance which burns is the combusting agent, or it is called combustible. So it is the combusting agent or combustible. And complete combustion of hydrocarbons. What does hydrocarbon mean? Hydrocarbon in a compound are compounds that have hydrogen and carbon inside them, produces water, vapor and carbon dioxide. So combustion of hydrocarbons produces water, vapor and carbon dioxide. Note that sometimes the combustion reactions are spontaneous. This means that they burn at room temperature in absence of flame. So it's spontaneous, تلقائية بتصير منها لحالها. Okay? And you have usually combustion reactions are accompanied by two effects. During combustion, what do you see? You see a flame, so it's a luminous effect, a light effect, and during burn it gives heat, so heat effect. كمان it's an exothermic reaction. Kindling temperature. To define kindling temperature, let's say here we have this is the first picture, which is a combustion of a matchstick. In the second picture we have the combustion of a paper. Let's say you have these two things and you start igniting them and you start heating them at the same point, at the same time. Would they burn at the same time? Of course not. So the combustion of these two substances do not start at the same time because they are different temperatures, okay? So the kindling temperature or ignition point is at which combustion starts, or in other words, is the minimum temperature needed to heat a substance, allowing it to burn. Okay? The lower the kindling temperature of a substance is, the easier it starts to burn. Okay? So, the lower the kindling temperature, it is easier to start to burn. Kindling temperature of different substances. Here we have a table showing the kindling temperature of different substances. We have butane is 287 degrees Celsius, hydrogen 571 degrees Celsius, paper 233 degrees Celsius, white phosphorus, which is 34 degrees Celsius. As you can see here, white phosphorus is the easiest substance to be burned because it has a low kindling temperature, while as hydrogen is the hardest here between these substances because it has a higher kindling temperature, highest kindling temperature. Okay, so we have two types of combustion according to the amount of oxygen. Complete combustion, it takes place in presence of a sufficient amount of oxygen. So we have enough amount of oxygen to react with. The second type is incomplete combustion. It takes place in presence of an insufficient amount of oxygen. So the amount of oxygen is not enough to react. Complete combustion, as you can see here, this is the stove, the gas stove. and the look at the flame. We said during combustion we have a luminous effect, remember? Light effect. So the flame, what's the color of the flame during complete combustion? It is blue. So blue flame. It is slow. We have release of carbon dioxide. Remember, what's the formula of carbon dioxide? It's CO2. Okay, so we have 2 oxygen molecules in carbon dioxide, so we have enough oxygen, sufficient amount of oxygen. And we have an example of complete combustion is gas stove. So complete combustion has a blue flame, it is a slow release of carbon dioxide, and example gas stove. The second one is incomplete combustion. Let's see. We have here a matchstick. What's the color of the flame? Is yellow flame. It's usually fast. And we have release of carbon monoxide. Mono means one. So the formula of carbon dioxide is CO. This is why we have only CO, not CO2, because during incomplete combustion it takes place when there is a presence of insufficient amount or not enough oxygen. Okay, so CO and an example burning of a match stick. So by this we ended our session today. Hope you understood everything. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. Goodbye.